Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will journey through The Tempest by William Shakespeare. The Tempest, written by William Shakespeare in 1611, is a poetic and symbolic play often considered his final solo work. Set on a mystical island, it weaves themes of power, forgiveness, and magic into a tale of redemption. The play begins with a shipwreck caused by a magical storm, orchestrated by the exiled duke-turned-sorcerer Prospero, and unfolds as a story of betrayal, love, and reconciliation. Plot summary. Amid a tumultuous sea, a ship fights a fierce storm, its passengers crying out in despair as waves threaten to engulf them. The Tempest, unnatural in its fury, is the work of Prospero, a sorcerer and the exiled Duke of Milan, who commands the winds and waters from the safety of a mystical island. Watching over the shipwreck through his magic, Prospero ensures no lives are lost. His actions are deliberate, for aboard the vessel are those who wronged him, and fate has brought them to his shores. Prospero reveals his story to his daughter, Miranda, who has grown up on the island, knowing little of the world beyond it. Once the Duke of Milan, Prospero was betrayed by his brother, Antonio, who seized the dukedom with the help of Alonso, the King of Naples. Cast adrift with his infant daughter, Prospero survived with the aid of Gonzalo, a kind courtier, and found refuge on this enchanted island. Armed with his vast knowledge of magic, Prospero has waited patiently for this moment of reckoning. The island itself is a place of wonder and strangeness, home to the airy spirit Ariel and the earthly creature Caliban. Ariel, whom Prospero freed from imprisonment within a cloven pine, serves him loyally, though with the promise of eventual freedom. Caliban, the son of the witch Sycorax who once ruled the island, resents Prospero's dominion, believing himself the rightful master of the land. Caliban's bitterness is met with Prospero's harshness, for their shared history is marred by betrayal and violence. The shipwrecked passengers find themselves scattered across the island. Among them is Alonso, racked with guilt for his role in Prospero's exile and grieving the apparent loss of his son, Ferdinand, whom he believes drowned. Antonio and Sebastian, Alonso's treacherous brother, scheme to seize the Neapolitan throne, their ambitions undeterred even in this moment of crisis. Elsewhere, Gonzalo remains steadfast in his optimism, his good nature a stark contrast to the machinations around him. Ferdinand, separated from the others, encounters Miranda. The two are drawn to each other, their innocence and sincerity shining in a world clouded by deceit. Prospero, watching unseen, is pleased by their instant affection, but subjects Ferdinand to trials to prove his worth. The young prince endures labor and hardship with grace, and his love for Miranda deepens with every test. Their budding relationship becomes a beacon of hope, a symbol of renewal amid the wreckage of past grievances. Meanwhile, Ariel, at Prospero's command, sows confusion among the shipwrecked nobles. With ethereal music and illusions, the spirit leads them through a labyrinth of emotions, fear, remorse, and self-reflection. Ariel also uncovers Antonio and Sebastian's plot to murder Alonso, halting their treachery with a timely intervention. The guilty are left to grapple with their shame, their moral failings exposed in the light of the island's enchantments. In another corner of the island, humor and folly unfold as Caliban conspires with two drunken sailors, Stefano and Trinquillo. Mistaking Stefano for a god, Caliban pledges his allegiance and urges him to overthrow Prospero. Their comically inept rebellion is marked by absurdity, as Ariel toys with them, leading them astray and exposing their plans. Their antics serve as a counterpoint to the darker schemes of Antonio and Sebastian, underscoring the folly of ambition untethered from wisdom. As events converge, Prospero orchestrates a grand finale, bringing all the characters together. With Ariel's help, he conjures a majestic mask to celebrate Ferdinand and Miranda's union, a vision of harmony and divine blessing. Yet even this moment of joy is tinged with melancholy, as Prospero contemplates the impermanence of life and the fleeting nature of his own power. Finally, Prospero confronts his enemies. Stripped of their pretenses, they stand before him vulnerable and penitent. Alonso, overwhelmed by guilt and grief, seeks forgiveness, which Prospero grants with magnanimity. Antonio's silence speaks of his unrepentant nature, yet even he is spared Prospero's wrath. In this act of mercy, Prospero transcends the cycle of vengeance that has defined his exile. As the story reaches its resolution, Prospero renounces his magic, acknowledging its dual capacity for wonder and destruction. He breaks his staff, symbolizing his farewell to the world of enchantment, and sets Ariel free, fulfilling his promise. Caliban, too, is left to reclaim the island, though his future remains uncertain. The final act sees the reconciliation of the shipwrecked passengers and the restoration of order. Ferdinand and Miranda's love bridges the rift between their families, offering a vision of unity. Prospero prepares to return to Milan, ready to resume his rightful place, not as a vengeful sorcerer, but as a leader tempered by wisdom and compassion. As the sails of the departing ship catch the wind, Prospero turns to the audience, seeking their pardon and release. His journey is complete, and the tempest has passed, leaving calm waters in its wake. That's all for now, but if this book spoke to you, William Shakespeare has more waiting for you. Find them in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in William Shakespeare's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.